And here's our objectives for working with units of measure. We'll become familiar with the U.S. customary system and identify units of measurement, introduce unit analysis, also referred to as dimensional analysis, right? So U.S. customary system, and we'll also get into metric system in this chapter too as well. But we have the length. For length, we have inches, feet, yards, miles, and so on, right? So 12 inches is the same length as a foot. 3 feet, of course, is a yard. 5280 feet is a mile. 1760 yards is also same as a mile. For weight, we have ounces, pounds, and tons. How much you weigh, and of course for capacity or volume, like how many gallons of water in a swimming pool, for example, right? How much water is in there would be volume. We have ounces, cups, pints, and quarts, and gallons. Okay. So let's do this first example. Suppose we want to know the depth of the ocean at its deepest point in inches. The Mariana Trench is the deepest known location of the ocean, and it was measured to be 6.831 miles. What is that in inches? So 6.831 miles is what we have, right? What would that be in inches? Well, we know, first of all, if we look up here, we have 5,280 feet in a mile. So we're going to go from miles to feet, and then we'll go to inches, right? So we know there's 5,280 feet in a mile. And then, of course, we know there's 12 inches in 1 foot. Right, so we're going to go ahead and use what's called dimensional analysis to convert miles to feet and feet to miles, right? So, number one, let's go miles to feet. So I know I'm either going to use there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile, or am I going to use there's 1 mile in 5,280 feet. Well, which of these am I going to use? I'm going to use this one because I want my miles to cancel. See how my miles cancel. And right now, I'm left in feet, right? So if I multiply 6.831 times 5,280, on my calculator, I get 36,067.68 feet, right? But I don't want it in feet. I want it in inches. So I got to keep going with this. Now I'm going to use the fact that there's 12 inches in 1 foot, or am I going to use there for every 1 foot there's 12 inches? Well, notice right now my feet's on top, so I want to cancel it. So I'm going to use the first one. There's 12 inches for every 1 foot, so that my feet units cancel. Feet over feet cancels. And I'm only left with, I'm left with inches. So what I have is 6.831 times 5280 times 12. This is all over 1 times 1 times 1 in my denominator, and I'm left in inches. Inches, right? So I'm going to go 6.831 times 5280 times 12, and I have 432,812.16 inches. So 6.831 miles is 432,812.16 inches. That's the depth of the ocean in inches. I don't know why we'd want it in inches, but that's what our problem is having us do. All right, how about pounds to ounces, right? So now I'm looking up here at weight. There's 16 ounces in a pound. That's what I'm going to use. I have 85 pounds. Again, I know there's 16 ounces in 1 pound, lb for pound, right? So am I going to multiply by 16 ounces over 1 pound? Or am I going to multiply by 1 pound over 16 ounces? Notice pounds right now is in my numerator, so I want the pounds in my denominator So I cancel it. All right, so I'm going to use this one. So my pounds units cancel. And we have 85 times 16. Let's see what that gives us. 1360 all over 1 ounces. So 1360 ounces. So this problem we have, right now we have 65 miles per hour. And we want feet per second. So let's first of all let's go to feet. So I know there's 5,280 feet in a mile. So then the question is, do I use 5,280 feet per 1 mile, or do I use 1 mile per 5,280 feet? Well, right now my miles are in the numerator, so I want to cancel with my miles in the denominator, so I'm going to use that first one. So times 5,280 feet per 1 mile. Now notice, miles are canceled. So now our units are in feet in my numerator, per in my denominator. So right now I'm in feet per hour. See how I'm in feet per hour? I want feet per second. I want feet per second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert my hours to minutes and minutes to seconds, right? So I know that for every 1 hour, there's 60 minutes. See how my hours cancel. Now my unit is feet per minute. I don't want feet per minute. I want feet per second. I want feet per second. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the minutes. For every 1 minute, there's 60 seconds. And see how my minutes are gone. And so what I'm left with, let me erase this over here. This equals, so I got 65 times 5,280 times 1 over 1 times 60 times 60. And I'm in feet per second. So now I just got to multiply that. 65 times 5,280, 343,200. $60 times 60, I've got 3,600. Again, we're in feet per second. So now I'm going to go 343,200 divided by 3,600, and I get 95.3 repeated feet per second. So 65 miles per hour is the same as 95.33333 feet per second. So cost of a gallon of gas, I wrote this a few years ago, as you can tell. I wish it was $3.35 per gallon. Obviously that goes up and down quite a bit, but a lot of variance there. If you travel 40 miles a day back and forth and your gas mileage is 25 miles per gallon, how much will you spend on gas each week? Well, number one, what's the total miles that we travel a week? It's 40 miles a day. And then we're doing that for how many days? Times, let's multiply by 40 miles per day times 5 days per week. Right? We're assuming we have a 5-day work week here. So we're traveling 200 miles per week. Right? Number one. So 200 total miles that we're traveling a week. Right? And we get 25 miles per gallon, right? So 200 miles, and we're going to divide that by 25 miles per gallon. So 200 divided by the 25 miles per gallon leaves us with 8 gallons. And notice what I have here. My units are miles, or miles over 1 divided by miles over a gallon. So you got to multiply by the reciprocal, gallon over miles. And so you see how the miles cancel. You're just left with the gallons there when you do that division. That's what's going on with the units there. So 8 gallons is how many gallons of gas we're using. Oops, I didn't even finish this. So number 3, what's the cost? Well, it's 8 gallons that we use every week in gas, and it's times $3.35 per gallon. Notice the gallons cancel. 8 times 3.35 gives us 26.8. So $26.80 in gas. Okay, in gas. With miles per hour to feet per second, right? Or actually the other way around, feet per second to miles per hour. So a rocket's velocity is typically given in feet per second. So we've got 37,000 feet per second, right? Feet per second. What is that in miles per hour? Well, let's go from feet to miles. So we know there's 5280 feet in a mile. Am I going to use that, or am I going to use, there's 1 mile for every 5280 feet? I'm trying to get rid of my feet. Am I going to use the first one or the second one, you guys, to get rid of my feet? Good, second one, yep. So let's go ahead and multiply by 1 mile for every 5280 feet. Notice our feet cancel. So now we're in miles per second, right? I'm in miles per second now. I don't want miles per second. I want miles per hour. I want miles per hour. So let's go from seconds to minutes, right? So I know there's 60 seconds for every 1 minute. Or am I going to use 1 minute for every 60 seconds? Well, I'm trying to get rid of seconds, so I'm going to use that first one. There's 60 seconds in every minute. Now my seconds cancel. So now I'm in miles per minute. I don't want miles per minute. I want miles per hour. So let's go from minutes to hours, right? So for every 1 hour, there's 60 minutes. Or am I going to use their 60 minutes for every 1 hour? Well, the minutes right now are in the denominator. So I'm going to use the second one, 60 minutes, to cancel my minutes per every 1 hour. Now my minutes are gone. And notice I'm in miles per hour. That's what I want. I'm in miles per hour. So let's go ahead and write our answer. 37,000 times 1 times 60 times 60 miles per, looks like I got 5280 times 1 times 1 miles per hour. So 37,000 times 60 times 60 gives us 11332. So divided by that 5280, and I get 25227.27273 miles per hour. There's our miles per hour, 25,227.27273 miles per hour. That's our last problem on this one. Thanks for watching.